Week 2 of high school football is underway, and the Vicksburg Gators are back on the gridiron. Glad you guys could join us. Head Coach Todd McDaniel show here live from Vicksburg High School. Coach, glad you can join us for another episode.
Once again, I'm happy to be here.
All right, Coach, the Red Carpet Bowl, you guys played well, great defense, 2.5 quarters, everything went just about how you wanted it. How would you assess the first half of last week's game?
Well, it was just one of those games that you can kind of see the youth movement within our football team. We did a great job. We outrushed Germantown. I think we had 200 yards total rush, and they had 111. I think we had 87 passing. They had 130 off 2 busted plays. Defense played wonderful. Offensive line played wonderful up front against a very good Germantown front. We ran the ball effectively, but just here and there you can see our immaturity. You know, we had a starting center, or center starting for the first time, a right guard starting for the first time. So, and 2 guys in the backfield starting for the first time. So, but I think the guys played extremely well, but we always want the victory though, you know. So it's just a process. We played one of the largest schools in 6A football by us being one of the smaller schools in 5A football. You know, they had a little bit more manpower than we had, but we're trying to be a 5A school. We'll play with an 8A mentality, you know. So it's a process of getting to that point, but we'll get there.
Yeah, you can talk about some of the immaturity on the offensive line. I think the false starts really begin to set you guys back offensively. So what can you say about how you can clean that up going into this game?
Well, just continue to rip it out in practice. Try to make sure we beat the play clock. Stop looking like we're having a few holding plays here or there. We got sit back on the first drive. I thought we should have scored, but a few penalties kept us from bogging down our drive, you know. Matter of fact, maybe 2 or 3 times throughout the course of the game. Also being in the red zone 3 times and not getting any points out of it, that really hurt. You know, we had the opportunity to take the lead against Germantown on 2 or 3 different occasions, and we couldn't do it. You know, so those are some of the things that from the mental aspect that where we got to stay focused and locked in and just continue to just grind games out.
Is it safe to say that in the first half, it went pretty much how you wanted it to go, or outside of a couple of busted plays, everything looked like it was going according to plan?
Right. Well, you know, we had 2 busted coverages on defense. Made some bad plays on offense here or there for us jumping offside, a few holding calls bogged down. But overall, I was extremely happy with how our defense, how our special teams, and our offense played. I thought we pretty much handled Germantown pretty well for the first 3 quarters. And in the 4th quarter, it got kind of out of hand. You know, we couldn't punch it in when we had the opportunity to punch it. And we blew a coverage and made the score 20 to 14. And it just started to kind of tumble at that time, you know. But still in all, though, I remember just as of last year, it took us 3 games, we went scoreless, you know. So for us to come out and play one of the middle tier, top tier 6A schools, guys that can sound Alabama and Georgia, you know, I think we're well on our way.
And you can kind of see it on the field. Germantown, they began to get frustrated a little bit by the defense that you guys put out there. So talk about the defense and how they played.
Right. So, you know, Coach Lacey and I, you know, sat down and Coach Lacey applied pressure. We wanted to apply pressure at all times, you know. We wanted to keep people in his face, and we knew that he's a great running back, but we know if another color pops in his face, he will try to bounce it, you know. So we were trying to funnel him to one spot, and we did a great job. He got a loose because they changed the formation a lot, and they normally would line tight end on one side and the H-back on the other. So the play that he got his big run on, it was by misalignment on our behalf. Keegan is another kid. This was his first start, and they put the tight end and H-back on one side and ran counter back to the other, but we had both outside backers on one side, so it was nobody there, you know. So it was just a schematics part. They did a great job of moving the people around, and we didn't recognize it at the right time, and they were able to get points off of it. So hats off to them. They coached too.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the people on that defense. DeMarion Robinson, I mean, he was all over the field last Friday night. So just talk about what he brings to your defense.
Well, he's a sideline football player. He's definitely a college football player, you know. He's extremely fast. He's just as fast as the kid that was on the other side of the ball, Branson. You know, he did a great job also. Caleb Bryant did a great job. Kellen did a great job. I'm just saying, all across the front, our guys really did a great job. We were very aggressive. We didn't shy away. You know, he was supposed to be the best back in the Southeast and one of the best backs in the nation. And you can see at the beginning of the fourth quarter, they had to take him out the game. You know, so because he would slap 2 or 3 of them down, but 2 or 3 or more come in, attack him, and make the tackle. You know, so that's what we were looking for. We want to game tackle. We want to run to the football, and they're doing it. But this is the thing, is that it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. We got to continue to do that every single game.
Yeah, and let's go on the opposite side of the ball, the offensive side. Like you said earlier, there was really nothing that they did to stop you guys. There were more, self-inflicted mistakes. So talk about that offense and how they moved the ball effectively all night long.
Right. Well, Johnny, we sat down, we watched film, we saw where we missed 2 or 3 touchdowns because we didn't hit the right alleys, you know what I mean? And the holes was there, and the kids up front did a tremendous job of blocking 6'7", 6'8", 330, 6'4", 6'3", 270, 280 pounds all night long, and we're nowhere near the size of those guys. My center is 220 pounds soaking wet, and my right guard is maybe 215 pounds soaking wet. So, those guys did a tremendous job of playing up and going at them aggressively and doing the things for us to be successful at moving our offense. But you talk about Alex Jefferson, you talk about Johnny, you talk about running. Those guys, our entire backfield was 10th grade, So the coach from Germantown texted me last night and told me, hey, man, those guys are going to be something special, And I just can't wait to see it all come to fruition. But as game by game, week by week, we'll get better and better. We're going to see that product on the field. Like I said, we controlled the game. We had 200 yards rushing, but we probably left 150 on the field. So I just can't wait. We getting better and better, and I can't wait to continue to coach these guys.
You can see some of the plays that you probably would have missed last year. They were hitting the holes. They were making the right reads. Even though you said they missed some,
right?
They're still young players, but they are continuing to get better.
Right. When you look at Alex Jefferson, he had 2 big runs called back. He probably would have had 100 yards easily. So Johnny Smith, the same thing. He ran hard, got hard, tough yards, hard physical yards. Malik Montgomery did a good job of pounding it off up in there. He probably got the bulk of the carries, but the young man went in there. I mean, he was making some physical runs. So those are some of the things that we really did not have at the beginning of the year. We had a few lanes here or there, and we definitely didn't see it, but you can see the maturity of these guys and growing in the offense, but most of all, wanting to run the offense. That's the biggest thing. These guys really see where we can be successful in running this offense, and you can see that every day in practice. I think you have come out there a few times, and they loving what they're doing. Right. That's a big difference, and they can see, hey, coach, man, I should have scored here. You're right. But guess what, though? I understand. We'll get there, though.
Yeah, keep chopping wood.
Right.
One person I do want to talk about is your quarterback, Ronnie Alexander.
Right.
If you look at last Friday night, you can kind of tell the injury that he had kind of affected the offense. So what can you say about his leadership and how he leads his offense?
Well, Ronnie is as smooth as butter. I saw the kid from Germantown, the defensive tackle that's got offers from everybody. He broke through the line of scrimmage and hit Ronnie. Ronnie got up and said, hey, coach, let's do this next play. It did not affect him. You know what I mean? And you can't. He's only 15. This kid 18 about to go play for Ole Miss or Alabama. And it didn't affect him. But if you realize on that series, that was a big series, and it was 2nd and 5. We were going in to take the lead, and we switched Johnny in, and the next play we fumbled. So we went from possibly 2nd and 5 and going ahead to they have the ball now, and Johnny is a great, but he didn't get the opportunity to get any snaps or anything like that, so it's just one of those things, but we're going to keep grinding that, and the kids see it, they know it, being disciplined and doing the things necessary to win every single day. Friday night, the game is already won. Won or lost, whatever the case may be, or according to what you have done from January all the way to this point. So I just can't wait for these guys to put it all together. We can be special.
Yeah, one thing I also want to look at the phase that Ronnie had on the 2-point conversions.
Right.
2 beautiful throws that he had, but the confidence that you have in him to make those throws. I mean, you have college and some professional guys can't make that throw as well as he did. So talk about the confidence that you have in him.
Right. Well, I don't know if you noticed, you saw a lot of personnel packages, things of that nature, and that's all because of running. I have the faith in him that he can go out there and get the job done the way we want it, and running is one of those guys is that, when he throws an incomplete pass, it's more a surprise than anything else. He threw an errant ball yesterday. He looked at me and well, it's okay, Ronnie. You pretty much, when you got the opportunity and the time, you can get it there, And later on in that Germantown game, we had some routes and the kids was running wide open, but he just didn't have the opportunity to deliver the ball. If he would have had a split second more, we'd be talking about Vicksburg being victorious Friday instead of talking about what we could have done.
Yeah, and you look at this team, you guys started off the season with two big 6A teams. And,
right.
Last weekend you held tough with Germantown for 3 quarters. So how does that make you feel to see where you guys started last year to this Red Carpet Bowl of you're playing tough with a team like Germantown?
Well, we're not cooking instant grits here. We're trying to do the old-fashioned grits and where we can be able to build a program that's here to stay, not just a one-hitter quitter or 1 or 2 good years. We want to build a program that can stand the test of time and a 10 or 15-year run, where we can place and plug and just continue to keep going, not about the fact that, you losing this guy, you losing the guy. We're just trying to reload for the next year, So that's what we're trying to build. And if you come out and watch us practice, you can see the guys that's graduating. We only have three seniors on offense, 2 on defense that's graduating, but you can see the young guys that we have in place that we're expecting to replace them, and we're just working them up and getting them ready for the previous year. We're just not thinking about Friday and next Friday. We're thinking about years to come.
But talk about the buy-in that you guys have had from these players over the summer and over all the workouts that you had. I mean, the way last season ended, going 2-8. And now you come back and you can see the confidence on the field. So talk about the buy-in from offensively, defensively, and just what you guys are teaching on the field.
Well, one of the things that I'm really happy about, and it all starts with the top, is that myself and my coaching staff, we're all together. We're all as one, and the kids see us all together and all as one, and it filters down to them. If we were separate and apart and disgruntled, the kids can see that. So what we're trying to do is make sure that they understand that we're all on the same page, and we continue to just get in that weight room. We had a great lift yesterday, and in order to be a champion, you got to do what champions do. And fortunately, myself and my coaching staff, we already know, and the kids know that too. Now, we talk about the outside influences, things of that nature. Do not worry about that. That does not matter. It only matters what we do in this weight room and on this field and in the classrooms up here. So regardless of what's being said or whatever the case may be, it does not matter. Put the blinders on, put the shades on, the earplugs in. Let's go to work. Let's go to work, because the things about it is that once we go out here and we continue to win and win on a high level, all that will quiet down. Just play football, go to work.
Speaking of going to work, tonight you guys have cross-town rival Warren Central. The guys on Highway 27, Coach Josh Morgan. Talk about what you know about Warren Central and what you expect to see from these Vikings tonight.
Well, Warren Central has had great success over the past 30 years. Those guys have been coaching for a long time, and I hope I can get the same kind of bid, be here 5-6 years, and be able to, just continue to peel and plug and move people in, But those guys are going to be well coached. They're going to be big and strong. They're going to do exactly what is being told of them. I have the utmost respect for that program there. But we're going to do our best to take it down.
Yeah, offensively, Warren Central, they're going to run the ball. A lot of powers.
It's going to be a short game.
Oh, yeah. Not going to be as long as people would probably expect.
Right.
They're going to run the ball. What do you expect to do defensively? Try to slow down that offense?
Well, we want to make sure we get as much penetration as possible. We want to scrape and read, get over the top. We know they're going to run the powers and the counter off the powers. Also a little play action, make sure they don't get over top and get some easy or cheap ones. We gave up 2 last week, So we're going to make sure we hone in on the things that we have to do. Lock in, do your job. Don't worry about anybody else's, just do your job. If we get all 11 guys on the same page, offense, defense, special teams, and just do your job, we'll be just fine.
And defensively, last week they forced 3 turnovers. So what do you guys have to do to make sure you protect the ball and keep those possessions going, not giving them extra possessions?
That kid did a phenomenal job of that defensive back. He had 3 interceptions on his by himself, you know. So what we're going to do is that we're going to be ourselves, you know. We're going to throw at him, or we're going to throw at the other defensive backs on the field. We're not going to shy away from it. But the most important thing is 6-inch power step, head and hip at the waist.
Yeah.
Attack at the waist.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. And if we can do that and control that line of scrimmage, we'll be just fine.
Well, tonight, Coach, you guys got a big test in front of you, the last game before you go into district play. So a pretty good tune-up across sound. So let's go out and get them tonight.
Hey, go Gators.
All right, that was the Coach Todd McDaniel Show. Stay tuned for the contest tonight between the Vicksburg Gators and the Warren Central Vikings.
Let's do it.